This is from looks like intramural research program. But what I want to correct is extreme obesity. I want to just correct that. Being overweight at all shaves years off life expectancy.
Yes, it does.
All right. This, as it happens with every new year, many people around the world woke up on January 1st committed to improving their health through eating well and exercising. Most of those resolutions fail, by the way. Don't do it because it's a new year. Do it because it's serious. These lifestyle changes have the potential to significantly improve the well-being of the 32% of American adults who are overweight. 32%. And the 40% who are obese. Did you hear that? Just under half of Americans are obese. Due to the staggering number of individuals struggling with obesity, as well as its serious health consequences, the condition has long been a main priority for researchers at the NIH. As a result of this focus, investigators have made significant strides in identifying biological signals that trigger hunger, understanding genetic influences that play a role in weight gain, and uncovering environmental and behavioral factors that influence obesity.
Wow. Yep.
So, in a 2014 study led by IRP investigator Carrie Kitahara, PhD, utilizes data from 20 different studies, including the Body Mass Index and All-Cause Mortality Polling Project of the National Cancer Institute, cohort consortium to examine the relationship between BMI and cause-specific mortality rates in people with extreme obesity. BMI is the ratio of an individual's weight to his or her, individual's height to his or her weight. Typically, a BMI of 18.5 through 24.9 represents a healthy weight, while an individual with extreme obesity has a BMI of more than 40 or more and is usually at least 100 pounds over ideal body weight. Now, where I'm going to pause when we talk about this 18 to 24, I want you to understand that people say, well, the BMI isn't accurate and it's not a good representation. Listen, if you're going to the gym and are a bodybuilder and you can see defined muscle and a six-pack and everything, yeah, no, BMI probably doesn't apply to you. Otherwise, it's a pretty good indicator of your overall health, okay? Yep. So I know a lot of people try to poo-poo, if you will, on this whole BMI thing. But again, unless you can tell that you are ripped, jacked, and you go to the gym every day, there's a chance your BMI is accurately representing your weight problems. Okay. Here we go. 40 or more, BMI of 40 or more, and is usually at least 100 pounds over. You do not need to be on 100 pounds over, as we've discussed, to be unhealthy. Okay. Through their research, Dr. Kitahara and her colleagues made the stunning discovery that extreme obesity can shorten a lifespan by as much as 14 years. In honor of Healthy Weight Week this week, I connected with Dr. Kitahara to discuss the experience in studying obesity, her passion for learning the condition. Okay. We could read the whole article. We'll just kind of go through little tidbits here, but let's start with this. My research, which was inspired by a 2010 study with the BMI and all-cause mortality polling project, spearheaded by my mentor and advisor, Dr. Amy Barrington D. Gonzalez. That study used data collected by more than 1 million white adults to better quantify how being overweight or obese affected all-cause mortality and to identify BMI associated with the lowest risk of death. Through this research, the team identified that death rates among never smokers without pre-existing heart disease or cancer was the lowest for those with a BMI of 22.5 to 24.9. And the risk of death rose 31% for every FIV unit increase of BMI up to a BMI of 49.9. Now, I don't have it in front of me. I think my BMI, well, I don't want to quote it.
Just do a search. Go in there, do my BMI. There's a calculator. It's on the top. We could put in our own BMIs on screen. I don't care. I just did it now. Pull it up.
Yeah,
Let's do this.
My BMI.
I'm here to save lives, and if I have to humiliate myself a little bit to do so, I will. There we go.
There you go. Let's get this pulled up. Give me a second. Calculate your BMI standard calculator. This is from the NIH.
Yep,
I think this is the
right
link.
Mine.
Your height. What is your height, Pop? Well, let me get
5 feet 11.
Okay, let me share screen first.
All right.
Okay, so here it is on screen. And we've got 5 and 11. Typing that in now. Your weight. 195. And compute BMI. 27.2.
I am still a fat ass.
Now let's do this. Let's see how bad I am. 5, 7, 1, 172. Probably worse. Yours is 27. Mine is 26. I've got you beat by 1 point.
Hey, Jimmy, what's your height?
I'm like 6'5".
Okay.
Jesus.
Well, you're going to be fine.
Giraffe. He's a giraffe.
6'5", and I'm going to say 165.
165.
Yeah, you need to get a sandwich, man.
I had 3 slices of pizza before we started.
Compute this. He doesn't have anything but bone. 19.6. There you go.
Hey, there's a little bit of meat on me. I just don't know where it's at.
Sandwiches, I'm just saying.
There you go.
But
so now you know.
But what we're trying to say here is most people are walking around out there with their gun to their head and they can't even fucking see it. Like literally, like, I'll be fine. I'll eat that Big Mac. What could go wrong? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Well, one of the biggest issues is the chemicals that have been put in our food that have been outlawed in other parts of the freaking world.
That's definitely part of it. Now,
that's a whole other show, but you're absolutely correct.
Again, Popp, yours is 27 minus 26. The ideal optimal range is between 22 to 24. Jimmy, eat a hamburger. You're more than welcome to.
When my doctor, the Russian Spetsnaz doctor, did my BMI, and I was like 30, was it 33-ish? Because I was like 220-ish. He like pulls out this card. He's like, Terrence, you need to weigh 172 pounds. And I'm like, okay, could you please pull out your prescription pad and write me a prescription for Auschwitz? That's the only way I'm going to get to 172, or you send me back to Ranger School, which I do not want to do. But yeah, I mean, and I do have a little extra muscle on me because of my athletic background. But still, you know, I look at myself in the shower and I have love handles and the whole deal. It just is what it is.
Well, tell evil Popp to stop eating a quart of mint chocolate chip and some Pop-Tarts every now and then.
Hasn't done that in a long time, actually.
There are a couple quick ones. I know we're going to go to a break soon, but I did want to go over this one as well for those of you that may not have a great understanding. This is from mayoclinic.org. This is an overview of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Yes, there are 2 different versions. There's also NASH as well as fibrosis. And
well, actually, they're actually merging them together. They're in the future, it's going to be just called one thing, because at the end, it doesn't matter if you're drinking alcohol, which is a modified sugar, or if you're eating a bunch of sugar, you wind up at the same stage in cirrhosis at the end. And you know, you don't want to get off at the last stop.
No.
You're fucked.
Yeah. So here we go. Non-alcoholic, or let's just skip this part. Okay. Fatty liver disease, often called fatty liver disease. It's a liver problem that affects people who drink little to no. Okay, we're going to skip that. In fatty liver disease, too much fat builds up in the liver. It seems often in people who are overweight or obese. We know about that. It's becoming more common around the world, and especially in Middle Eastern and Western nations, as the number of people with obesity rises. It is most common form of chronic liver disease, affecting about 25%, 1/4 of the world's population. In the United States, this is where it gets really fucking scary. Pay attention. What is the United States population? 330 million? 330 million. About 100 million have fatty liver. That is a third, give or take.
1 in 3 people.
Wow. Some people with fatty liver disease can get non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, which is actually what I was diagnosed with, by the way. It's also called NASH. Now, mine is in the early stage, so it is reversible, but this is a serious form of fatty liver disease that causes the liver to swell and become damaged due to fat deposits in the liver. NASH may get worse and lead to serious liver scarring called cirrhosis, even liver cancer. This damage is like the damage caused by heavy alcohol use. A move is currently underway to change the name, there you go, of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease to metabolic dysfunction associated I don't even know.
Just call it
steatonic liver disease.
It is.
Fatty liver.
FAL. Fat ass liver.
There you go.
I just solved it all for you.
Okay. Without getting into this, here it's
when that fatigue one, that hit me pretty hard.
Big. I still am dealing with this.
And the malaise, I have that all the time. It's not as bad as it was like last year, but I still get it. I get that too. A little bit of pain and discomfort.
This is very, very common.
It's scary too when you realize that something in one of your internal working parts is fucking up.
This is also common.
This is more advanced shit though, isn't it?
This is symptoms of NASH and cirrhosis, or severe scarring. But you can definitely abdominal swelling, also swelling in your feet. Also, I don't know if it says it here, but spider veins. It does. Spider veins beneath the
that's an estrogen issue.
Shortness of breath, enlarged spleen, red palms, yellowing of the skin, and eyes or jaundice. This is bad. If you have this, it is still, believe it or not, reversible, but it's going to take a serious unfucking of your life to get this.
The bright side is if you catch it early and you can actually, deflate the liver. I mean, the liver builds all of your hormones, your cholesterol. It does, anywhere. It's estimated between 500 and 1,500 different chemical processes take place in your liver.
Yeah.
If it's inflamed, it's like your body trying to cook with very minimal fucking counter space. Things stack up and fall on the floor and it gets all fucked up.
Yeah.
And listen, I mean, I don't lie to you guys here. And I've noticed since I quit drinking heavy and I've gave up a lot of the sugar and stuff, my testosterone level has gone up like 50 points. 50. It's not bad. I'll take it.
Yeah. And again, because I mean, you guys know when I went through it, I made a big old thing about it. But 1 in 3 Americans, 100 million Americans, somebody has fatty liver, whether they know it or not. Okay. That's why this is serious. That's why Popp wanted to do this show. And I agree 100%. 1 in 3. If there are 3 people in a room right now, one of you may in fact have fatty liver, whether you know it or not. So it's a serious issue. Now the good news is
fat ass liver.
Fat ass liver. The good news is your liver is very good at repairing itself. Given enough time and proper diet and staying away from alcohol and everything else, your liver can, for the most part, not all the time, but for the most part, your liver can completely regenerate as a healthy organ. That's the only organ in your body that can do it.
I have an associate that actually happened to him when we were younger. Remember the Rye syndrome thing that used to was a big thing back in like the 90s and 80s or whatever. He caught like some kind of cold or flu, got a fever. Parents gave him Tylenol. His liver went into shock and then failure, and he was 11. He goes to the hospital. They stabilize him. They literally tell his mother he's got 30% of his liver left. He's still alive today. His liver completely regenerated. Now, it probably has something to do with the fact he was 11 fucking years old, and you're indestructible at that age. I used to be. But just think of that. 30% of your liver, they can literally cut out, I think, up to 60% of your liver and give it to somebody else, and you will regenerate your liver back to its original size.
Crazy.
That's fucking amazing. Just think about that. 60% of the liver gone. All of the veins, the arteries, all of that gone. There's 40% of it left. What does your liver do? I got this. Fuck it. All right. Spin it up. Let's rebuild this shit. We'll make it better than it was before. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Wow. I mean, when I read that, because the way I am is whenever I'm faced with adversity, I don't just stand there and go, oh, this sucks. I open books, I Google, I learn every fucking thing there is to know about adversity or what's before me, because it is my fucking enemy. And my profession was fucking war. So when you're run into something like that, that's how you should fucking face it. This is fucking war. It's me against that fucking sick liver. Fuck you. We're fixing this shit.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Popp for Supporters Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.